I witnessed a robbery this morning. I witnessed a robbery from a jewelry store. Jewelry store. No, I didn't run after them. I was a little stunned by it all. No, because the guy ran out with the jewelry in his hand right past me, and so I was a bit like, you know, because the woman screamed out at the same time. The woman in the shop, yeah, the jewelry lady, I guess you could call her, screamed out, and yeah, this guy runs out across the street with a bunch of jewelry. Then this other guy comes out and they're kind of holding him, and basically she's saying, like, because he was getting away kind of, or about to, and then another guy comes. I think he works next door, and he came and he holds onto the guy because she's saying that the guy, that second guy, she's saying that he held the door for the first guy who ran away, and so they were holding on to him, and he was trying to say that no, he's nothing to do with the first guy. You know, as an outsider looking at the situation, I think yes, they were together. I think that is actually what happened. But he's protesting that they were nothing to do with each other, and you know he's in the store by himself basically, and the lady's protesting that no, you held the door for him to get out. You know, so you were with him. You know, you're his accomplice basically. I tell you what, for me, I've never witnessed anything like that close up. You know. I'm trying to think of a time where I've actually seen anything like a robbery like that in person. I don't think so, that I can remember. Maybe I've forgotten, but definitely in recent years. No, I mean, I don't think, actually I'm saying recent years, I don't think I've ever witnessed anything like that before, apart from watching it on TV. You know, when they show those programs and they show the CCTV of how they robbed the place and all this stuff, and it's like the real footage. I've seen that stuff, but this was up live in my face. Like, I literally felt the wind from the guy who ran past me. Yeah, literally. And that's why I say I was stunned for a second. It's just like, is this? It's like part movie and part, you know, like, is this real? You know, in my head. So I was just there for a second, like, you know, watching, because I watched him run like clean across the street towards the churchyard, and then another guy ran out after him, like was chasing him, you know. And while they held this other guy out by the shop door. Was he armed? I'm not sure. He could have been. But I remember seeing him with the gloves and the jewelry. You could see the shiny jewelry in his hand as he was running. It felt like he did a grab and run because you heard the lady scream out. Then you see this other guy kind of in the doorway, and then them holding him and her screaming. She was telling the other guys to hold him, you know, because he's involved basically. There's just this whole thing, like it could have been no more than, it was less than 60 seconds that whole bit took place, and then they were just holding the guy and deciding what to do with him and all that kind of stuff. And by that time I had an appointment, so I had to leave and go. But it was a lot. I've never seen anything like that close up to me. He literally would have ran me over if I was any closer to him. Like, because you know, he's just robbed somewhere, he's trying to get away, so if you're in his way, you're going to get ran over. I'm lucky that I wasn't any closer to him. No, well, he might have been, but he had to run to it. He ran like clean across the street, so if he was, oh yeah, he was running on foot. Yeah, if he had a getaway vehicle or whatever, he would have had to have been running to it. But I feel that he came on foot and was leaving on foot. I don't think he actually rode there. It's literally one of those smash and grab things, although I don't think he smashed anything. It's literally one of those just grab and run, you know. I witnessed a real live robbery in front of my face. I am a witness, except I couldn't tell you what the first guy looked like because he ran so fast past me, and he was, by the time I was looking at him, it was his back towards me, running away. So I couldn't give a description of him at all. Couldn't describe what he looked like at all. The most I could describe is maybe his height, but I don't know. Maybe I might even get that wrong because he was moving at such a speed past me at that moment. The only other person I could describe is the person who they held, which everyone saw because they held him there, and I left and they were still holding him, so everyone saw him. He's probably on the camera as well anyway, so you know, there's been no need for me to describe what he looked like, you know. Everyone obviously got his description. The other guy, I couldn't tell you what he looked like. He was gone. He was clean gone, man. Had fistful of jewelry. I don't know what he had or how much it cost, but he was off, mate. He was off. It was an eventful day, I must admit. I was quite shaken. I was quite shaken for a little bit. I mean, you know, I don't want to exaggerate, but it's like, for a little while I was like a bit, wow, I've never seen nothing like that, you know. It's a bit like, no, I didn't stick around that long. Witness statement, I was long gone before any police came or anyone was around to ask me about witness statements. So I left as they were just standing there holding it had just happened. The guy was still probably running when I left. you know, and the guy that ran to chase him, you know, I left while they were probably still chasing him wherever they were chasing him. I didn't stick around for long at all. I just saw them kind of holding him, and you could see that the guy was, because he was adamant that he was nothing to do with it, and then the woman was adamant that he was. You could see that the guy didn't know whether to hold him or let him go, so he just holding him there, and it was just a whole thing. So I just, by that time I to, you know, get to where I was going. But yeah. It was just, it was a lot. Yeah, a real life robbery, man. A real life, you know, jewelry shop grab and run, you know.